How are we doing, guys? Moose here, episode 48 of our West Ham United career mode. You can see we start off this episode coming back from the Everton match. You can see Francisco Rodriguez, one of our goal scorers in that match, will be out for 3 weeks. He did pick up a knock there, and it's disappointing because he has played well since he's come back from his loan, so we will miss him for that 3 weeks, but I think we have more than enough players that can help pick up the slack. We also get a note that Clement Grenier, I should say, from Olympique Lyon, who did come in for Adrian, has accepted our offer of $70K a week for 4 years to be a crucial first-team player for us and potentially our new central attacking midfielder. He just gives us a lot of options, obviously, with Downing, who's been playing very well this season, but he's just not going to stay at that level forever. We have a lot of players, but this is a guy that could be a bona fide superstar. We also potentially want to improve our central defensive midfield. That's why I inquired about Nangolan from Roma, but just going to be too much money for us, at least in this window. We also have a matchup coming up in the FA Cup against Walsall, so Danny Potts, who did score in his only appearance for the club, comes in asking for a chance to play, and I'll probably give it to him, to be honest. And this is one of my favorite things to do, is just look at the transfer news. You can see Diego Costa in demand, West Brom potentially wanted to take Jarvis off our hands, and Hugo Rodallega, who actually had scored, I think, 8 or 9 goals. He was one of the top scorers in the Premier League for Fulham, who are currently sitting in the relegation places, has actually been bought by Italian Serie A side Parma, who in real life actually just dissolved. Disappointing for them. Obviously, you hate to see a club going through financial turmoil like that, but in the game, they're still here, and they are signing Fulham's top scorer, which potentially could seal Fulham's fate back into the championship, to be honest. But we come into with a huge game here, our first game of the FA Cup. We come out in a 4-3-3, Potts, Collins, and Kulu across the back, Noble, Nolan, and Chiate make up the three-man midfield, Valencia, Sacco on the wings with Connor Wickham in the center. It's a 4-3-3 with Wickham in the false 9, but I told Wickham to play as a target man, so basically he's playing more attacking, but I just had it so that Valencia and Sacco could then make runs in behind Wickham off of his link-up play. So I thought that would be a good way to line up the squad, give us a little bit of width as well as a nice target man in Connor Wickham. Of course, Nolan offering some attacking from midfield, and with Noble and Chiate then sitting behind a little bit more defensive. So definitely some options there. Noble will be the one to be more sitting back, whilst Chiate will be more of a box-to-box type player. And Kevin Nolan, like I said, offering some movement going forward here. Lovely chance there on a ball played in. He hits it on the turn, but it's a good save by the Walsall keeper. So taking on a lower league team, obviously, definitely a game we should be winning. Sacco plays a lovely ball in, but Connor Wickham just scuffs his finish and hits it well wide of the goal. Valencia then showing off his pace and lovely ability on the outside with a nice little step over body feint. Plays the ball into Wickham, and he goes for the absolute spectacular, but his shot goes nowhere near the goal, doesn't trouble the keeper at all. And Walsall, they had decent spells of possession at times, but weren't really able to trouble us too much. You can see Nkulu with a wonderful tackle, just absolutely takes out the man. Tom Bradshaw eventually on the ball forces our young goalkeeper Thomas into a nice save down and low to his right-hand side, but good strong hands and eventually cleared away by Joey O'Brien. Into the 34th man here, O'Brien coming forward on the right-hand side. And the reason I had to mix up the squad so much is I wanted to keep guys like Cresswell, Jenkinson, because Cresswell could have played in this game, to be honest. Everybody was fit, but we have a Capital One Cup semifinal, the home leg, taking on Newcastle in just 4 days' time. So I wanted to keep our full complement of starting players, for the most part, very fully rested. That's why we have guys like Carroll, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Downing, Cresswell, none of them in the lineup here today. I put Collins and Nkulu in the center back pairing, figuring I'll just go with Reed and Tompkins at center back. So figured it'd be a good way to rest everybody and keep them fresh, because that's a better chance of silverware. And honestly, playing a lower league opposition with like Walsall, even with our second teamers, they're honestly arguably good enough to beat a lot of the lower Premier League sides even. So playing against Walsall, I figure this should definitely be good enough for a victory, to be honest. And even with this starting lineup, besides guys like O'Brien and Potts, these are guys that could start on a lot of Premier League teams. And should be danger man. But Sacco here played through after a lovely tackle. He's able to create a chance, and he just goes over the top of the goal with a nice left foot smash. But Chiate, showing that why he is such a powerhouse, wins a tackle, comes forward with the ball, eventually floats it into the head of Connor Wickham, and Connor Wickham, our cup specialist, puts it away. He's got his 4th goal. He has 4 goals, I should say, in the Capital One Cup. He's actually the leading goal scorer in that competition. joint top goal scorer. And now he scored his first goal in the FA Cup as well with a lovely headed goal. So he's really just become a cup specialist. He has 5 goals in cup competitions for us and only 1 in the Premier League so far, though he hasn't really had as many chances because we've been going with guys like Valencia, Andy Carroll up top in the Premier League. So he hasn't had a ton of chances there, but when he's got his chances in the cup, he's taken them. Walsall with their best chance really to score the equalizing goal with a free kick in the 83rd minute, but the shot goes just on the wrong side of the post and into the side net. And Sawyers then gets on the wrong side of Nkulu, gets on nice side of goal, and Thomas makes one more save to hold another clean sheet. He's been so good in the cup competitions for us, but he's really played a lot of lower league opposition. We do pick up the victory. Kiyate would be the man to win man of the match for me, just like he does in FIFA to get the 3 points. And Kulu picks up 2. I thought he actually played very well besides that last chance they gave up. And Diafrasako, even though he didn't score, I thought he honestly was our best attacker, so he gets 1 point for me. Does pick up a slight knock, a bruised shoulder, so he'll be out for the Newcastle game. They'll rule him out for that no matter what. But he wasn't really going to feature in that match anyway. So Potts obviously happy to be able to get into the lineup for this game. And that's really all the action we had before the Newcastle game. Like I said, there was 4 days, 3 days in between leading up to the game. And we didn't have anything going on the transfer front, not a lot of action. Obviously, I put in a couple of inquiries and was doing some scouting, but we didn't get any offers coming in. And really, we don't have any money. So until we get anybody on the outgoing, we won't be able to bring anybody in if we do bring anybody in at all. And you can see in the other semifinal, Chelsea just putting an absolute thumping on, winning 4-0 in the first leg of their semifinal tie. So that means that basically the winner of this is playing for the right to go to Wembley and take on Chelsea FC, the Blues, because they just absolutely dismantled their opponent. And when you're up 4-0 after one leg, I think it's pretty safe to say you're going to be going through to the next round. So we come out back with a very strong lineup. Guys like Downing, Oxlade, Chamberlain, Carroll, all back in the lineup. Valencia still pairing up top with Andy Carroll. I took him off relatively early to try and save his legs, and it paid off very early with Enter Valencia opening the scoring in the 5th minute. Lovely finish. We get very, very fortunate with a deflection that allows the ball to go around Tim Krul, but it's a great ball in from Stuart Downing, who does get the assist. It goes right to the feet of Valencia, and look at that. How about that for some close control? Just one touch to get onto the ball, takes a strike. It actually comes off the leg of, I think it might have been Tiote, or no, Tiote was trying to clear it off the line, but it comes off the leg of a defender, maybe Musa Sissoko, tips around Tim Krul, and Tiote's not able to wrap his leg around and clear it off the line, and it's in the back of the net. Lovely finish for Ender Valencia, and just like that, the first leg of our Capital One Cup semifinal, we're up 1-0 in the 5th minute. It's beautiful. Obviously, this is a game that if we come away with a pretty convincing victory, it might allow us a chance to rest some players, because I know the second leg of our Capital One Cup semifinal comes right before we do take on Arsenal. So it'll be a huge game. That'll be away from home, actually. So it's definitely a game we're going to want to come out and show that we can pick up a result against them, because obviously they beat us. Oxlade Chamberlain comes forward, wins a penalty in the 17th minute. Another lovely run from him. You can see he used a skill move to get around defender, then a fake shot around the top of the box to beat one more. And Daryl Janmaat just comes in, absolutely bundles him over from the side. You can see he's coming in, gets none of the ball, all of Oxlade Chamberlain's body. It's a definite penalty. And Andy Carroll, the man to step forward and claim it, and he puts it in the back of the net. It's a wonderful finish from the big man against his former club, of course, a team where he really made his name for Newcastle in both the Championship and then the Premier League. And he's picked up a nice goal against him here in the Cup. It's a beautiful finish from Carroll. No chance of Krul stopping that, obviously. He goes the right way, but with all that power and nice precision right in the top corner, it's going in the back of the net. Wonderful finish from Carroll. He does have that confidence to step forward and take it. I had left Noble out of the lineup for this game. I put Rabiot in the holding midfield role. Delph and Oxlade Chamberlain also making up the remainder of the midfield, with Downing at the point of that diamond singing behind the striker. So we didn't have our normal penalty taker, Mark Noble, on, which allowed Carroll to come up and get an opportunity. And with that, he slots it away. So shows that he is just as competent from the spot and gives us a 2-0 lead. We then win a free kick here. Lovely bit of skill from Rabiot. You saw with the back heel to Fabian Delph, who's absolutely taken out with a rash tackle in the 23rd minute. And I had actually gotten some comments saying, why isn't Aaron Cresswell the one taking these free kicks in the Premier League, even if Downing's on the pitch? And I listened. I gave Cresswell the chance from 26 yards. This is an area where he's had a lot of success this year. He scored twice from this general area, and he rockets this one off the crossbar. Unlucky not to score. And on the follow-up, Tompkins' header actually goes over the goal, though he was ruled offside, so it wouldn't count either way. But what a free kick it was from Aaron Cresswell. In the rain, he just smashes it right on the goal, but straight off the woodwork. Disappointing not to be able to finish it, but it's a wonderful chance. And we do still hold the lead. Adrian with another nice save. Rabiot here in the 30th minute, linking up with Andy Carroll. He's actually gone forward from that midfield role, lays it back into Rabiot, and his sliding finish goes just inches wide, as we've had pretty much all of the play here against Newcastle right now. Valencia then holding up the ball here. Nice little fake shot, steps inside his defender. Doesn't really have anything on, so he plays the ball into Carl Jenkinson. Lays it back to Adrian Rabiot, the former PSG man, into Valencia. Lovely, intricate football we're playing here. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Downing, Aaron Cresswell. Nice little fake shot, bit of skill move to get around his defender. Looks to the center, floats it in. Carroll with the samurai kick, and the karate man, Sir Andrew, Lord of Carroll. It's absolute, pandemonium. It's the scenes that we start to see pretty much every episode. Andy Carroll putting the ball in the back of the net with a lovely finish. And this is just a little toe poke. It's a nice ball worked in from Cresswell. Bravery from the Newcastle defender, you have to say, going in with his head. But Carroll just gets in there a half second before him and toe pokes that ball past Tim Krul. And with a shot from that close at that pace, he's not going to have any chance. No reaction time for that. And it's a beautiful goal. Carroll actually now goes joint top goal scorer in the competition with Connor Wickham with his 4th goal in the Capital One Cup now. So that's fantastic. Delph then with a lovely ball outside of the boot through to Jenkinson. He whips it in for Andy Carroll. Should be his hat-trick goal. That would have given him the match ball, but he's just ruled offsides. I thought he might have been onside with the ball or even held on by this Newcastle defender here, but you'll see he's just a fraction offsides. Obviously, he is off of the defender, but he's just a fraction offside of the ball, so that's not going to let us get that 4th goal. But we're looking very safe at this moment in time. Downing with a nice ball back to Oxlade-Chamberlain. Smashes it in, and I think Valencia was almost shocked that the ball deflected and fell to him, and he just collapses in a heap after missing that strike. It should be 4-0, I have to say, at this moment in time. We get a corner in the 66th minute, continually looking dangerous here. Tompkins with a lovely header, looking for his 2nd goal in all competitions of this campaign, but he's unable to score. Newcastle trying to make us pay here. Davide Santon floats the ball into Remy Cabella, whose head just loops over Adrian's outstretched palms and gives Newcastle a lifeline in the 70th minute here. Really was created by Winston Reid getting pulled away because Jenkinson had gotten beat, so Reid had to come and cover it, allowed Aaron Cresswell to have to take on Cabella, and unfortunately he does just get out jumped by the French attacking midfielder to give Newcastle a goal. But that would be pretty much all they wrote. Yang Mbiwa lays one off to Ben Arfa. Adrian does well and gets down to make the save, and that would be it. A 3-1 victory, very comprehensive at home. We do give up an away goal, but I think on this rate of play, we should be relatively safe, hopefully getting through to the Cup final and looking to still pick up our first piece of silverware in this career mode. Obviously, we did lose the FA Cup last year, so that would be huge. In this game, though, Andy Carroll with 2 goals picked up the 3 points for me. He was my man of the match. James Tompkins, I thought, played wonderfully at the back, so he gets 2 points. And Stuart Downing, who I thought created things very well and did a great job spearheading our attack, gets 1 point. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of potentially bringing in someone like Nangolan if you think that would improve the team as well. Leave a like and subscribe. Really hope you're enjoying it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.